I remember my first ever sales call. I memorized my whole script. I knew what to say. I knew my service and I was ready to sell. But the moment I started talking, I started feeling that the prospect was losing interest. I kept talking to try to convince him. And by the end of the call, he said, "Well, I'll think about it. I'll let you know. Send me some more information." And I never ever heard back from him again. So, what actually went wrong? I thought sales was about talking, persuading, and pitching. But the truth is, sales is not about convincing people, it's about leading them to make the right decisions themselves. Now, I've become a top rep at a sales company doing door to door sales. And if you're like me, you've done hours of research on how to get better at sales. And what you realize is there's a lot of bad advice out there. And if you've ever felt stuck in sales or you struggle to close deals or you get too many objections, this video will help you change how you see sales. I'm going to be going over the 6 sales lessons that has actually worked for me. And stick around to the end of the video because at the end, I'm going to share one thing that made sales effortless for me. Lesson 1. Sales is about control, but not in the way you think. Sales is not about who talks the most. It's about who controls the conversation. The secret is the person asking the questions is the one who is in control of the situation or the call. Most rookies talk too much. They scrabble and they say, well, our product does this feature after feature and benefit. And the prospect just gets overwhelmed. But the best salespeople ask the right questions for the prospects to convince themselves. Here's an example. If you're a doctor, you don't just start prescribing medication right away. You ask questions first to diagnose the problem. Instead of saying you need better marketing, ask, well, let me get this straight. So you've told me about problem X, Y, and Z that you're facing, right? And it's causing you this issue right now. What made you take that action today? What do you think is going to happen if you keep going through these same issues? So now they're actually telling you why they need your help. Lesson 2, sell the vacation, not the flight. People don't buy products. They buy what the products will do for them, right? Same thing with services. When someone books a vacation, they don't care about the flight details. They care about how they'll feel when they actually arrive. If I wanted to sell a vacation to someone to Thailand, I'm not going to talk about the 14-hour flight that they're going to have to take. I'm not going to talk about the limited leg room that they're going to have and how the food might not be the best, right? I'm going to be talking about how they'll actually feel when they're on a beach in Thailand, how the warm sand will feel on their feet, how nice it would be to rub lotion on your skin and sit there and just tan in the amazing weather with the sun out and at the beach, the people that are surrounding you, right? And how food will be so cheap over there, right? I'm going to be selling them that, not the plane ticket. So paint the vision clearly so that they feel that they already have it. People fear losing $100 more than want to gain $100. But even when people want something, doubt will creep in. So how do we handle that? Let's talk about leading the conversation. Lesson 3, great salespeople never ask questions they don't know the answer to. Lawyers never ask questions in court unless they already know the answer. Same thing with sales, right? Every question should lead them into a realization, not cause more confusion. Instead of asking, are you struggling with marketing? Ask if your leads were more qualified, and you knew they already had the budget and they have the right timeline and they want to work with you within the next 30 days. Do you think those leads would be better for your business? And what exactly would that change for your business? You already know that will benefit their business and they're going to say like, oh yeah, that would be a game changer or whatever. But have them realize it, have them say it out loud. The takeaway is control the conversation by leading them to say yes. But asking the right questions isn't always enough, right? You need to listen for what's not being said. And lesson 4 is sales is about listening to what they're not saying. Sales isn't about talking, as we've discussed. It's about listening, right? People's tone, hesitation, their body language, right? They tell you more than just words. Instead of pushing, try to dig deeper. The prospect says, yeah, we don't struggle with it that much. Most of the time is good. Just ask them, what do you mean by most of the time? Because our clients never really run into those issues. What do you usually do when you run into those issues? And when you have that confused tone, they feel inclined to give you a little bit more clarity because there's someone's confused. You want to help them out. Then they'll start explaining, digging deeper into realizing their pain points because genuinely they might not even think that that's an issue when it really is, right? And your product can solve that issue. So make them realize the pain that they don't think they actually have. Now, speaking of objections, let's talk about how to actually handle them like a pro. Lesson 5. Objections are not real. They're just side steps. 90% of objections are not real. It's just most of the time people stalling because they're afraid of making the wrong decision. Think about it. If you believe 100% guaranteed that this is going to work for you and this is going to solve a big issue for you, what could possibly stop you from doing it? People come up with objections sometimes to be nice, or most of the time is because they don't actually think it's going to be worth it for them. So use the AAA framework, the AAA framework. And this is from Alex Ramosi. Number 1, acknowledge the objection. Number 2, associate the objection with a success story or something, a positive trait, right? And 3, ask a question to uncover their real fear or just ask for the sale, right? Who knows? And the example I'm going to give you is I need to talk to my spouse or I need to talk to my partner. Well, first you acknowledge. So yeah, totally understand. It's definitely a big decision to discuss about. And second, you associate, which is something like, this actually perfectly reminds me of a client we had 2 weeks ago, right? Who said the exact same thing as you. Honestly, a very similar situation. He actually decided to move forward with us. And just in 2 weeks, he had X result or Y result. I don't know, right? Associate that with a positive experience. So they feel like, oh, it's actually not a bad thing that I'm thinking this, right? And it's happened to someone before. And then ask a little bit more and dig deeper, right? And does your spouse slash partner want you to keep facing these issues? And so if you were to present them with the solution, right? And you know that it works, um, what could they possibly say no to? They'll either say, well, I think they'll say no to the pricing because XYZ is too expensive. Then you actually just sidestepped into the real objection, which is pricing, right? Then you figure something out with that, right? Or they'll just be like, yeah, makes sense. They wouldn't want me to face these same issues. So let me move forward. So now we bring it all together into the final lesson, which is lesson 6. The best salespeople don't sell, they lead. Sales becomes easy when you stop trying to sell. When you deeply believe that your product is the best solution, confidence becomes natural. Your mindset should be, I'm not here to convince, I'm here to help them make the right decision. And here's the final takeaway. If they 100% believe that this will solve their problem, trust me, the prospect will find a way to make it happen. Now, go ahead, go apply these lessons. Let me know the results. Let me know which one you tried. If you want more lessons about sales or marketing or personal development, that's the stuff I'm really interested in. Go ahead, join my newsletter. If you don't want that, it's going to pop up with a video that YouTube thinks you'll like from me. So go ahead, watch that, and hopefully I will see you there.